What's up, legends? Welcome to episode 2 of the Loot Lounge podcast. Today is going to be an incredible episode because we've got some awesome special guests that we'll get to very shortly. Today's episode is going to be about strictly the Fortnite storyline. We've got some awesome theories that we're going to go over. We're going to cover the current storyline status and what we thought about last season's storyline. So there is a lot to go over in today's episode, but without further ado, let's introduce the first guest of the podcast. And he is one of the biggest Fortnite simps when it comes to graphics, and that is my boy, Cyan.
Hello everyone! There was no better way to explain me than what exactly Jay said. The biggest simp on the... Have you seen the Fortnite graphics? That's all I'm gonna say. I also have 3 missions. One of them is to show everyone how I figured out the entire story. The second one is to make more people enjoy it, and the last one is to make Purex not hate the story. That's my mission. That's all of it.
That's an impossible mission right there.
Nah.
And then next up, we have one of the most in-depth and practical storyline creators. We got Restro.
Hi, thank you.
And then we've got one of the most respected creators in the Fortnite Twitter community, and that is my boy, Akko.
Oh, I thought there was someone else in the call. Okay. Hello, my fellow Fortniters.
And then, of course, we got the co-host, Purex. How are you going today, Purex?
Hey.
That was good, yeah. That was a good intro. All right, so basically today what we're going to be going on about is just discussing the Fortnite storyline in general. We're just going to be having like point of views on it, sort of summarizing in your own ways of just the storyline in general and just what we think of the new season and that. So first off, anybody can sort of butt in or talk first, but what's your guys' thoughts and opinions on season 3?
I think it's pretty good. Like with Sloan showing up in the trailer, I think that was a really good idea coming from Donald's part, because Mega was like, I mean, everybody did sort of like it, but then stuff happened, whatever. Now that Sloan's back, the story's like going back on the right track in my opinion, and I like how they did the Sloan audio logs, and that we have the snapshot quest too to give more like less lore relevant characters more lore and information. And yeah, I think so far it's a good start.
Yep. I agree.
I'd have to agree with Rez because I actually really did enjoy Season 2 Mega because it was one of the themes I really liked to see in Fortnite since the Chapter 2 days. I was waiting for something like this. And okay, the story was horrible. Let's just get this started. In my opinion, of course.
Don't let Sign hear that.
It had some good parts, but mostly it was just a filler, I'd say.
Yeah.
Now I'm really enjoying the aspect of slowly getting back to where we were before. Like we've gotten rid of the filler, and now we're starting to move on towards the end of Chapter 4, of course. And we're introducing to Sloan again, which is pretty cool and more.
I think that basically at the start of Chapter 4, I expected Chapter 4 to be like probably one of the best storyline chapters, but not like the end. I thought it would be the ending, but the ending seems to be Chapter 5, not this one. This one is kind of telling us the origin of the whole storyline, especially this season. It's going through the main parts, it's explaining other places, other realities than just the island. Which like this like feeling of discovering the other characters we have not met. This is one of my favorite feelings of this chapter that the other ones didn't really have. They were all just focused on the island. So I would say that, and the fact that this season is starting to finally reach into the kind of like the ending of this phase of the story, but it's not gonna be the whole ending. This is gonna be probably from this moment the coolest part of the story. A lot of sick things are gonna happen. So if the season keeps going with great updates and everything and has a live event, might become my top 5 best seasons.
Nice. So like with obviously the season's only like a week old. Did you enjoy the launch of this season, or do you feel like there has been previous seasons in this chapter that had a better launch?
You forgot about me, man.
Oh, sorry, Purex. Sorry, I totally forgot, bro.
You forget about the main guy. How?
No, never mind. Just ignore me.
No, you
Just
go,
move
bro.
on. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Well, I'll give my opinion then. Season 2, I liked it. Not the story, but I like gameplay and collabs. Season 3, if they don't explain how Sloan came back, then I don't know what to say. Another plot hole there. And I know how the chapter is gonna end. 0 Point's gonna come in. We're gonna be in danger again, and then the island's gonna be destroyed, and we're gonna get a new one. That's how it's gonna happen.
Surprising
I'm
well.
spoiling it for you guys now. No insider leaks. I just know it. All right, next question.
Yeah, so sorry, Purex, about that. But anyway, yeah, like, did you guys enjoy the launch of this season, or did you feel like there's previous seasons within this chapter that had a better launch?
You probably have seen how crazy I'm going about this season's launch. Star Wars is the best launch after season 6, I would say. Season 6 had the best launch because of the event at the start. And then gameplay wise, it is amazing too. So it's already one of my favorites, definitely.
I think the hype was not bad. It was like a back and forth because everybody was excited and everybody like thought would get an original secret skin, and then everybody was talking about like, oh, the Herald may be coming back, and it turned out to be Meowscles. Then we got Sloan, and it was just like there was definitely more seasons with like better hype. Maybe like for Chapter 2, Season 8,
Yeah,
after the Skyfire event, or
Mm,
maybe Chapter 3. But yeah, I don't think the hype was the best, but ultimately when Sloan came, then like everything started to get better from there.
I agree, because like I don't know, I switched on and off because I was kind of
Yeah.
hyped leading up to the season, just like seeing some of the teasers, and they just dropped all the battle pass skins, which was, yeah, I like it when they tease it a bit
Yeah.
more. But
yeah.
I remember when I watched the battle pass trailer for the first time, I wasn't that excited like I have been before. So, and then when the season actually launched and I played it, I enjoyed it more. But I don't know, I just
Yeah.
found it, for me, it was kind of on and off with the hype.
So basically, I had a similar reaction to Jake, where I was hyped, but not at the same time, because we've had definitely better build-ups, if I may say. Like
Yeah.
this was the third time we had the earthquakes. The only different part that made it a bit more interesting was the vines coming out of the cracks. But other than that, it was pretty much the same as other seasons, I'd say, which diminished the hype for me a bit.
Yeah.
But after playing the actual season and watching the trailers and stuff, I find it to be pretty unique in its own way, for now at least. I think it's enjoyable. The new biome is
Yeah.
cool, the weapons are interesting. I tried out the MK Alpha yesterday and I found it cool, so
See, I
yeah.
haven't tried that yet. I really need to try it. Last 2 days
I've
I've
tried it. It feels like the same thing as
Okay.
the MK7.
It's
The
nothing
exact
different.
same thing.
The thing is that people are kind of completely ignoring how important the mega season was. So these like realities coming together, like the mega city, the characters from it and everything, the way that like the knocks and everyone were distracting you completely away from the cracks and everything, and then that suddenly reveals the jungle. And let's think about this part. The volcano coming and the jungle, and then in chapter 1 season 8, the cracks lead into a volcano and a jungle. Same idea. They're kind of showing us how we're technically going through the same ideas, because in chapter 1, those 5 reality theory that I'm going to talk about in this one, those 5 came together that time too. So we're going through the same thing. That's why the cracks happened again. So I am like more hyped than I have ever been. Like you have seen how crazy I'm going. So yeah, I am good. Yeah. Oh my god.
That's good. I think Science shows some of the most enthusiasm out of any of us.
Yeah.
I love it.
Has Retro given his opinion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We're not gonna forget about UPX this time. So you go, bro.
Aw, thank you so much. What was the question? I forgot.
Like, how were you hyped for this season? Like,
Oh no.
no.
That was the
That's
best
amazing.
answer out of all of them. That was just
You
amazing.
want me to? I'll explain.
Yeah. Why weren't you
Well,
hyped? Like, what made you not hyped?
Well, it's nothing against the game or anything. I feel like I'm just slowly growing away from it because I've been playing it for 5 years straight. For like 4 out of 5 of those years, I played it for like 8 hours a day, and it just burns me out, And I have other things that I'm enjoying more now. So
That's understandable.
Personally, I
Because
was
I feel like
just-
there are a lot of people that sort of grow away from the game. Whether they
Yeah.
come back in seasons that like sort of bring them in because they like the theme, or they just don't continue playing. I feel like
that's
everybody
completely
goes through that.
true.
Like, I know, Akko, you went through a
That's-
stage, didn't you, with
yeah.
that? Like, you stopped playing for a bit.
Yeah, that was last year. Oh, no, I didn't exactly stop. I stopped playing, okay, for some time during Vibin, because that entered resistance for some time, because I was truly burnt out from the game. Like I've been playing for 5 years consecutively,
Yeah.
and I needed a break from the game itself to focus a little bit on me, other things I have to do. IRL, and so I came back then, and the love for the game just slowly crawls back into your soul, sort of, with any game you can play.
True, yeah.
So to say,
It's
Yeah.
I
taking
think
over.
that's just the natural way of things, with anything you can do. You just get burnt out and you come back a bit later and everything's fine again.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
the secret to the
Well,
meaning
it
of
depends
life.
from person to person, of course. Some people don't come
of
back.
course.
Yeah, some people just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there was a game I used to play. Now I'm like, I still love the game, but I just can't feel like I want to play it again.
Yeah,
of
I
course.
get you.
So, like Restaurant Sign, I haven't known you guys for like a really long time. Have you guys ever gone through like a burnout phase, or have you just consistently just played and enjoyed Fortnite?
Me burned out? Me?
I mean-
Nah. Imagine the biggest simp on the game gets burned out. That would be horrible.
I know you would probably never
Um,
get burnt out, but Rez, what about you?
I've considered like taking a break, but it's just there's always something going on, and
Yeah.
I have gotten bored, especially vibing.
Oh
But
yeah.
instead of battle royale, I
Oh,
just went to creative, and that sort of just took care of itself. So I never really got like really burnt out, but I do get bored a lot, especially like last season with a 2 to 3 week gap, no voice lines.
Yep.
That really kills me.
Yep.
Yeah, I just waited out whenever.
And because like your
I
content's based
agree.
around storyline as well, I find when
Yeah.
there's those gaps between the voice lines, it probably does make it hard because you can't kind of continue rolling the story. There's
Yeah.
nothing to continue it with.
I kind of agree how the biggest problem last season had, and I always say that, like the story was good, the gaps were way too long, there needed to be more voice lines. That was a huge issue with it.
We'll just sort of go back in time a little bit to season 2, and then we'll work our way up to season 3. What did you guys think of the story within season 2? Did you like it? Were you satisfied? Do you think it was crap? What was your opinions?
Rez, please do the honor.
Okay. I think it was pretty good. I really loved the name drop for the last reality in the first week, and like the hype around the Saboteur and Triarch Nox. The dinner between the syndicates sort of killed it, but then they came back with like Dahlia and there's more stuff going on with the Luminaries. You had like the ending with nothing about the Saboteur and just a happy little ending, and I don't know, it kind of messed it up, I guess.
Every Disney movie ever.
Nah. Can I go now?
Yeah, sure.
Because it's gonna. Okay, so about the things Restro said. Last season's storyline, in my opinion, was great. Not one of the best because it was like not a like an ending to something. It was like a build up to like what we're getting soon. So like people don't really enjoy the build up. They just want the final thing to get out. This season, first of all, about like people keep saying that Last Reality lost. How did they lose? The nothing. The Shapeless Man can legit talk through the kinetic ore to you. He does not need a useless device to talk to people. That thing does not matter. The whole thing was a distraction. The reason why till the end of the season, no one from the syndicates talked about the earthquakes, and that they're all just like ignored it. Say it's fine. It's because of Mega City. That's because Nox, that was his whole point. He made chaos against the syndicates. He forced them to focus on making a peace and no other places on the map. He threatened them for destroying Mega City, and so they had to focus on it. He doesn't even want to destroy Mega City. So because of that, in the ending, and for Serena's part, people keep ignoring her too. You can't ignore someone that clearly gets a lot of talks from Epic Games. They get a whole full trailer, like a creepy one, say how she can hypnotize people, put her right with the towers. She has the same line
What?
as Trace in the Battle Pass right now. You can't just ignore her. She was the reason why the cracks happened.
But like, what happened to her
And
monoliths? Like, where are they gone? Because they've been just like erased.
those things
Dipped.
are
They're just gone.
those things they no, one of them is still here, the main one that is in the, what was it called, the like the mega part of the reality, because of the orbs and how we can see with the like the loading screen of her. She can kind of manipulate water and everything, and that's kind of like a river guardian thing. And Last Reality and Io are made out of like 5 realities, people from them. They're all the same guys. So she has to be someone from the river guard, so she could be able to manipulate those towers, bring them to the other 2 kingdoms which were in the islands, and reveal the middle part, which was the other one under the ground, which seems to be actually the historic part before Cube Cradle and Last Reality got created. I'm gonna talk about that later. So last season's story was amazing. The wait between it was just too long. That's it.
Yeah.
It was great, and we did not win. We lost. Last Reality won.
Here's how it is, okay?
Yeah.
I agree with some points from Restro, and I agree with some points from Cyan, but I also kind of disagree with some. In my opinion, the story last season was not it. Okay,
I agree.
when I've seen better how Epic can do better quest lines. First of all, I've never been a massive fan of the quest lines. Only at the beginning, when in Chapter 3, Season 1, if it was, yeah, it was then. When it was kind of fresh and new, and we didn't exactly know what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But periodically, it started going a bit downhill from there. Like I remember in Vibin, if you actually sit down and
Sorry,
think,
it all dropped off.
it didn't really give us any actual important story until the last set of quests when they told us about that that strange substance, and then again it wasn't until we found out with the teasers about the chrome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the quests themselves, I don't really think that they do add some important value to the story itself, compared to the actual map changes or quest hints per se. Last season the story was not it, in my opinion, because it lacks two of those things: the importance and the overall value. I wouldn't have said the same thing had they actually utilized the characters from last season now. But because I was certain that all those peace syndicates, all the syndicates in general, would never be used again, it just gave me a sense of, I don't know, that they're pretty much useless info.
Yeah. I feel
At
like
least for me.
I think a lot of people. I'll get to you soon, Purex, but I feel like a lot of people. It was either they loved it like they loved it like Cyan, because like Cyan obviously he dives really deep. I think Rez does a little bit too, but like Cyan really digs into it. But like I think you're either on two sides. You're either there's somebody that really is in depth and loves to theorize and digs super into the story, and then there's people like just the more casual side, so like myself, and we like to see just what's in front of us. For example, the quest lines, like we understand that, but we don't go beyond that. So when you get a lack of that and a massive gap in between, it doesn't feel as fun for people that don't dive into the story. But
Can I say something about that? Because that was really smart, actually.
sure, yeah.
So that's definitely true because the soil of the game is made like a puzzle. They keep putting
Yeah,
hints everywhere, and the more it goes, the hints come together and tell you the story. If you don't figure out the hints, they just tell you in the end. I feel like because of that, like that is great for people like me who love the game, but it's terrible for the people who don't care that much and just want to get it.
Yeah.
So I feel like Fortnite definitely needs to find a way to like figure out how they can do both if they want to
Kind of
please
meet in the middle
everyone.
a
If
bit.
not, yeah. So like I feel like whenever this war happens at the end of chapter 5, they gotta start making a movie, a show, or just make it simple for everyone to figure out what happened in these 6 years and what this war is even about, this huge war. So I think they definitely need to do what you said, especially when the war happens.
Purex, I know you don't follow the story too much, but you do have your opinions on why you hated it.
I think. I don't know. Not really
What were
sure.
they?
I don't know.
Oh.
I was just kind of bored, wasn't I?
Yeah. See, myself and Purex, like, we kind of focus more on the gameplay and what's in front of us. So
Hey, the graphics.
and the graphics. So like
Thank you.
for me, like I used to go really in depth into it, but now I don't have as much time to sort of do that anymore. So I just like to listen to the quest lines, and if they make sense, then I enjoy the story. Where if they don't, and it requires more digging deep, then I don't enjoy it as much. I'll obviously watch like your guys' videos, like Retro Cyan, Top 5 and all that, just to see like the inner parts or the theories of the story. But in my mind, I don't really go too far into it. But like, if you guys, I'll sort of do one at a time, but if you guys could sort of summarize the story in your own way, like a short summary, how would you guys summarize the story from the start of chapter 4 to where we are now?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, there's a lot, and it's just there's a lot of things we don't understand. the Shapeless Man, the Saboteur,
Yeah.
and even now, like I'm just trying to untangle the entire story for Wilds because there's just so much stuff going on. I don't know. We got like Stellan. I don't know. Ryan, do you got anything right now?
I have everything.
So, Cyan,
Alright,
just from
you
like the
take it from
start of
here.
chapter 4 to where we are now, like just a short summary of like for people that are dumb like me and that want to sort of know a bit
Nah,
more.
you're not dumb. Don't say that.
He is
God,
very,
you're-
very dumb.
Oh my god, Purex!
Abuse.
I love this place. Okay, so I'm gonna also hopefully try to make Purex not hate the story. Okay, let's begin. There
You
is one
can't.
thing. Oh my. Just let me try, man, please.
If you guys didn't already know,
Okay.
Cyan's trying to make Purex love the story where Purex, he doesn't
It's
like
impossible.
it. So it's
You
impossible.
can't, bro. I'm done with the game story.
Ah! No, I'm
I
not
got
saying
other
you
things
come
to
back
worry
to it.
about.
I'm just trying to make you not hate it. That's it. Okay,
I hate
so.
it. I despise
Oh my god!
it.
Okay, so there is something that you guys need to know before I start keep going because this is very important to everything that is happening. There is two gods in the Fortnite storyline. There is everything and there is nothing. The nothing is before anything existed. It was the darkness. It was the entire omniverse. But then the pure energy of creation, all the light, all of these things came together and created the everything. Then these two fusing together created the 0 point, which is teased by the zero skin, everything and nothing in the description, and the fusion skin in chapter 2 season 1 is a fusion of nothing and everything. That's why that skin exists in that season. And the black hole in chapter 2, that was a teaser how all the omniverse and everything began after 0 point got created. So there is that. And then there is starting from chapter 4, basically these gods, these two gods, when creating the 0 point, each had like half control on it. They create this reality zero and everything and start experimenting. But the nothing wants more perfect, like more powerful, more perfect, actual good realities with like powerful people and everything. So he wants everything and him to do experiments and they create 5 realities. These 5 realities become the experimental one to become perfect. And those realities are the ones coming to the map right now. So we go to chapter 4 now that we know these things. The Oathbound and the Frozen Reality Kingdom. These two are the first realities. And the grassland, I just figured out that grass area is also with the Oathbound because each reality has 2 sides except the jungle one. One side, the people keep evolving, they keep living using technology. The other side stays to their roots. They keep evolving their technology, but they're like buildings, everything
Yeah,
that stays the same. So, and even if you go to Geno's castle, you can see a lot of a slap juice there. There's like, my man gets drunk with a slap juice probably every day. He has no reason to live, he just drinks. So, slap juice and everything is definitely from his reality.
So that's why he
And
disappeared because he's that drunk. He just fell into the dungeon. And
he's
got
just
locked up.
drunk.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's just my man is just drunk on the snap juice. And then so that was that seasons. And as Stellan, he is not from the Oathbound. He came to Oathbound. And like he says, the second part he came, he was with the like with nothing's message or something. He said with nothing. To me that means he's nothing's message because he's speaking to him.
Yeah.
And from what we're getting, Havasson says, I know what exactly you are, even if you don't know what you are. Stellan has lost his memories. He don't know where he is from. And with the like the Bifrost kind of thing in the jungle reality right now, that to me means he has to be like a Heimdall with his golden eyes, how he can see into galaxies that he says. He is like the Heimdall of Fortnite because Fortnite's story, the whole thing is mythology. It's 5 different mythologies, 5 different realities. And so there is that. So last season we got the ancient Japan part of the like the
Which
thing
was
and
awesome,
the
yeah.
story. Yeah, I love that part. And I love how we got to learn about them. We got to learn about how they are, their popular people, their groups, which the groups are not like it's very important. Don't ignore them. The luminaries, the trace skin in the Battle Pass is a luminary. The I don't know, there's a lot of them, like the guy, I forgot his name, Lorenzo. He and Renzo, and there is a lot more skins in the survey, exactly the same as them. And there is the Midas fish. I really think might have been an explorer, so maybe like the leader of this group, but that's not confirmed. That's a theory for now. So there is that. And then this season came, revealed how there was also another reality that was here when Paradigm brought him, but under us. We had no idea. As Serenade and the other guy, Triaknox, were trying to reveal it because of the Bifrost kind of thing place. They want to use that to bring their people in and start everything. Bring the final reality into the fifth one, which is gonna be the desert. Same desert as chapter 1 and chapter 3, all of that. It's the same one as that one. And so basically that's the story right now. Expect desert to come next season and everything. We're bringing them together because that's what the Nothing has always wanted. He wants to destroy all realities, leave one to stay, and that one will be reality zero. All the five realms coming together, creating one, because they have become perfect realities.
Yeah. So you're essentially saying that there's all these realities coming into this one area, and
Yeah, they're forging into one.
do you think this will be utilized in the future for when the last reality comes and they'll all like join forces and fight together?
Both IO and the last reality are made out of five realities. They're kind of like the alternate versions of each other. That's why each logo kind of looks similar, and each of them have six symbols. And why in the Batman comics the IO are called they, because it's not just Geno's realities; it's all the five people from them.
Yeah.
So the people kind of got cut into two halves.
That's
Yeah.
good. It's good hearing people's sort of different opinions and perspectives, because then
Thank
you
you.
kind of get to see the way people think and how they're piecing the story, because everybody pieces. That's a good thing about the Fortnite storyline, is that everybody has their own ideas and theories that they piece together to create their own timeline.
Yeah.
So
Us
if you-
Fortnite themselves
Yeah.
never say anything.
yeah.
That is.
So Reza,
Can I say my opinion?
Yeah, Purex, there you go.
Okay, so personally, I don't disagree with Cyan. I don't agree with him either. But look, I love that he's so into the Fortnite story and stuff like that. But personally, I feel like most of the things that are being said are never actually being said by Fortnite themselves, and I feel like most of them are just headcanons. Because I don't see any of these being canon. I don't see any of the characters talking like that, like being like, we're doing this. And if the story doesn't end with that being explained, then I feel like it isn't a perfect, good story, because it needs explaining. And headcanons, they aren't canon. God, I sound like Miguel. But they aren't canon, so yeah, personally, I just feel like most theories in the Fortnite community, it's not actually confirmed. Nothing is confirmed because Fortnite doesn't explain anything. They bring in all these characters, then they do a little story with them. For example, season 2, it was mostly filler. It was like Boruto, the entire series. Like, they don't explain everything well as it should be. And if you want an explanation, you need to dig so deep. You need to do everything. For example, Cyan, the reason he understands it so well is because he digs so deep. So
Everything.
many people
Yeah.
do not have the time to do
Yeah.
that. And I feel like it's just at that point you start connecting things yourself. You don't actually follow what's actually being told, because most of the things science saying isn't directly being told to us. It's just hints. So it could happen, but right now it's just headcanons. Because we don't know if that's gonna happen.
I think that's why there's also like sign. I see some backlash sometimes from you and stuff, because I think because like I'm not like it's awesome because you're creating your own story in that, but then obviously people are gonna have different opinions, so they're gonna be like, oh no, this isn't like
I
this
get it.
I am because you created this and blah blah. But it is true, like there's none of it is being fully confirmed, but there are hints towards it. But I respect how you do come up with all these ideas and stuff, and that's why you like Purex. That's why you understand it so much, because you're making your own theories and ideas with the clues that Fortnite have given to us, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna say two things about this. One of them is like so when I made this theory, I was so excited that I showed it to someone, and I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna talk about this
Yeah.
too much either. All I got from it was keep watching what's gonna happen really soon in this, like something like that. Keep like just wait. All I got was just wait and see how it plays out. I'm not gonna say more because someone might fall in trouble for these things, but yeah. And the second one is I also figured out what the seven story is all about. If anyone wants to hear, that's it.
All right, we'll touch base on the
Go
seven
ahead,
later
yeah.
because I do have a couple of questions about that. But Reza Akko, I want to hear like your sort of summary on the story. Like, where do you guys think the direction is, and how are you piecing the
I'll
parts
go
together?
after Rez. You
Um,
got this. Let's go.
Just throw him in the deep.
we got chapter 4, season 1. Personally, at the start, I thought like Stellan and the whole thing going on with the shapeless man, I thought that was the nothing at first. I was like a very firm believer for that.
Yeah,
Then at the end, like my mind changed drastically. I started like connecting dots on my own, and then I thought it was like definitely Geno. Um, it's, I don't know, it's a lot to explain, so I'm not gonna plug myself. But anyways,
no,
we
go
got chapter
go.
4 because I did make a video about it, like, just explaining like my thoughts and all. But
I'll link everyone's
yeah.
channels and that below, so you can go check it all out if you want to.
And then chapter 4, season 2, we just not much to it really. It's just Eevee and Thunder just giving us quests, and we got Triarch Nox, possibly being the saboteur, and then Last Reality possibly coming as well. And then chapter 4, season 3 is just Sloan.
Rez,
And
do you feel like
I'm just so
season?
tired.
That's all good. Do you feel like season 2 was like trying to lead up to something, and then it just kind of flopped at the end?
What I've noticed from season 1 and 2 is that they build something up and then they cut it off right away.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think they're gonna reintroduce that in like the final season of the chapter, because Shapeless Man, we got all that stuff, boom, he's gone, right? We got all this stuff about the saboteur, boom, he's gone. Now we got season 3 Wilds. I don't know what we're gonna get here, who we're gonna be talking about, but I feel like it may build up to somebody and then it's gonna say it's gone again. And then in season 5, because I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the last season for the chapter, I think that's when all those things are gonna be reintroduced and somehow are gonna connect with each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a bit of a taste tester. They'll give us a little bit here and there, and then at the end it'll piece
Yeah.
together. I know Fortnite do that, but there's also been some instances where they've just forgot about it in general, like certain storylines. But
So the thing is that they do that, where they always did that when they introduced certain storylines and then they dropped them and picked up on new ones and then revisited them. Like the icing was explained in canon terms 1 year ago today, I think, when he was introduced 4 years ago. So, they can always revisit past storylines and explain them whenever they got the chance. But nowadays, I feel like they just don't really put all that much effort into that. And what I mean is that, from what I feel like personally here, the quests don't really have any sort of continuity like they used to before, or the story itself. Like in chapter 2, we followed Jones around, we followed the Foundation's arc, we followed Sloan, which all led coherently into the final event, the end. And it all sort of played out perfectly, in my opinion, again.
yeah, I agree.
But now, like, every season is its own story, for example. Like, they don't really add up one to another. Like, now we have Sloan, now we have the imminent threat of the last reality again, sort of waiting for us. But there's not really much going on right now. For example, Sloan was teased, and I expected her to be introduced in season 4. But it happened now, and now I feel like, will she really play a part? Will she stick around for long, or is she here for fan service? That's
True.
my
I've
question.
seen a lot of stuff about that. Like, is she here to, actually serve the storyline properly, or do they just want to chuck in an old familiar character again?
I know exactly what you want to do.
I'm here for both. Like, I will enjoy both in any case, but I'm just saying what we used to have compared to what we have now. And as for the story itself, I think it follows a more scientific approach while integrating the magic and stuff from different realities. Like, I agree with what Cyan said previously, that there is an everything, which is the 0 point, and there is nothing, which is that dark entity that wants everything to go back like it used to be.
So you got something wrong. 0 point is not everything. 0 point is a mix of both of them.
I feel like that the 0 point is everything due to the fact that before it, as Donald Mossad has written on Twitter, there was nothing. So before there was only nothing, and after the 0 point sprang into creation, it created everything. Therefore, you could argue the 0 point is everything. But that's just me, okay? That's just me.
Yeah.
And
No, I
another
agree.
mystery we had was the
I can see
Shapeless
that.
Man, which is a huge mystery to this day. Some people still think it's the Nothing, some think it's Geno. I personally think it's Geno. One thing I also have discovered is that you don't need to dig too much into stuff lately. Like, you could have not followed a single line from the quests, and once you heard that the Shapeless Man always imagined a world of perfect order, it sort of unveils itself plain and simple to you. Like, who else do we know that wanted to imagine a perfect order and had a whole faction
Yeah,
named
yeah,
after it?
yeah. Do you think they did that to
So
throw us off though, or do you think it was actually literal?
I think
Yes.
that it's actually literal. Like, to be honest, they've done things that they throw us off before, but
Oh yeah,
this
for
one,
sure.
in my opinion, is so plain and simple for everyone to grasp. So, such how to put it, a line dedicated to Geno himself. That's, I don't know. I mean, it's always up for interpretation by different
Yeah, yeah.
people. Like, people have their own reasons to believe it's nothing, and others have their own reasons to believe it's Geno. I believe it's Geno. It's however everyone can interpret it. It's a free story. Everyone can speak their mind freely, and we only get some confirmation after everything actually happens in the game.
Can I butt in
Uh,
real quick?
Yeah.
yes.
Of
Sorry.
course.
So
Science said it's so like evil, like yeah.
no, I mean like so for example, what Akko just said, it I just realized that basically everything is kind of theories because we have no idea who nothing and like all these people are, and
Yeah.
if we do, it's just theories because it hasn't been said. And
Mhm.
I also just realized that the pacing in the game, like the pacing for the story, is
Very slow.
very not. It's not good. It's a very
Mhm.
very. The
Mm-hmm.
story is so slow. Meanwhile, the game itself goes really fast. Like we switch
Yeah.
seasons, but we have been talking about the nothing since like chapter 2, right? And
Mhm.
yet we still have no clue who it is. No idea.
Mhm.
We don't know if it's a person, we don't know if it's a universe, we don't know if it's a whatever. It's just very not, it's not well told in a way where everyone can understand it because they
True.
do everything so slowly. And then they do these comics which are, it's fun, but it's not, it doesn't, again, it just creates more plot holes in my head instead of actually confirming and closing in on stories
I
because they
always
bring back.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go. You go.
I always felt like they should have, or they should do like a mid-season storyline trailer or something, just to spice some things up. So for example, like I don't
Sure.
know, we get to like a climax within the story, to do with like the quests, and then they could like drop a trailer like halfway through the season just to give a bit of hype and just I don't know, get the community excited about something, and you can visually see it in front of yourself. Like you don't have to like listen to audio or anything. Like you can actually see what's going on. Could be like a minute, 2 minutes, just to I don't know, just to give us a bit of something else, which would be cool.
So kind
Or
of
just
like
a tweet
fracture.
explaining it. I don't know, like
Oh, sorry, not
anything.
fracture. Oh god, no, resistance, resistance. Oh no,
Yeah, but
I
like
meant
an actual like
resistance.
physical trailer, like you know how we get the launch ones, like how we the
Yeah.
gameplay trailers
Yeah.
and stuff. Like we need like a proper nice cinematic of just I don't know, just summarizing the story a little bit, or not necessarily summarizing it, but just continuing it, like so we can visually see it.
That'd be
Yeah,
nice.
or
Yeah.
like the thing they did in Resistance where they made like a table thing that showed why exactly Ayo made the thing, the tower in the storyline quest, what it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
meant to do, all of that, something like that. Can I say something about the nothing side,
Can
like
I
my
just?
own
I'm just
side?
gonna
I
say
mean.
something really quickly as well, just kind of like
Okay,
with
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Purex's.
Sorry.
I kind of get annoyed with how I think Rez, you were talking on a podcast with like Tommy and Clark and stuff, but I kind of get annoyed about how they do a storyline within the game, and then for example like with the device event and stuff, they were doing all this stuff, and then you know Jones and Foundation jumped into the 0 point and they're on their way to Geno, but then they don't finish it in game, they finish it in a comic where not everybody has access to it. So I find like that creates a lot of plot holes as well. Like I know it's easily accessible via
That
like your
was annoying.
creators, but for people that aren't don't have access to the comics or don't look at certain creators and stuff, they're not going to know if they're only just strictly following the storyline in Fortnite. And I feel like that creates plot holes.
Definitely does, because in one of my recent tweets, somebody replied that they thought Geno and the Foundation were still like no, not
Oh
Geno
no.
Foundation. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Jones
Yeah.
and the Foundation were
Yeah.
still in the 0 point, and I'm like,
I was
Oh
about to
dude,
no.
say.
we're in chapter 4, season 3. That's like The fact that they
Exactly,
didn't know that and they were like still somewhat following the story, like I just feel so bad for them because the comics are like the story is locked behind a paywall. And some people can't
yeah.
buy this kind of stuff. And also they make it less accessible because I'm pretty sure they put the Nexus War comics in chapter 2 season 4 in game. So I don't understand why they can't put the comics in game as well. So it's like easily accessible for everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Because I know, like
Even
in
if you could buy it.
yeah, I know in certain countries, like you can't actually buy the comics. So like what you said, Restro, like they need to actually like maybe have it visually in game because like not everyone has access to. I mean, if you're playing Fortnite, you have access to internet, but there's not people that have access or like to look at certain creators that summarize the story. So I don't know, I just feel like it
Mhm.
creates a lot of questions as well.
Yeah, and like comic stores and stuff, like it was hard for me to find a comic store.
Yeah,
I can't
Yeah.
imagine like other countries, like if it's more difficult for them or not.
yeah, it definitely makes it hard at times. What were we gonna say, Sign?
It's for the nothing thing I said. I'm gonna say it after you guys done.
Oh no, I'm kind of finished on my points. I don't know if Akko had a point that he wanted to.
Just one thing that up until recently, I had, and I still have people in my comments whenever I do a storyline type of tweet that still think that the Foundation and Jones are into Genesis reality hunting him. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it's been what 1 year? We've we've crossed a point where I think they should just release them somewhere inside the game so people can read them because it really makes it confusing for those that haven't really had a chance to buy the comic or find a creator who explains what happens in the comic because I was surprised that so many people actually didn't know what has happened. Like someone to the like right now that we're speaking, someone out there has not read the comic and doesn't know where these two characters went and what has actually happened behind the scenes. So in my opinion, it's a terrible decision on their part. Like it was fun at first, but now it has just needs to change.
And you can tell that the comics were made, like especially the most recent Marvel ones we got, they were made a little bit ago because like the monster, like it
Mhm.
was looks so different to what it
Yeah,
actually
it's
was.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
they changed
100%
the
rushed.
artist and it got messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
that that alone does create more plot. Not it's not bad in a way, but it's just the designs and stuff. I don't know, it just creates more
Yeah.
questions as
The
well.
artist messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, bad artists, bad.
I did hear somewhere though from like a reliable source that it was somewhere on Twitter that it was rushed though because they're trying to get it out on a specific deadline. And
Okay,
that's why
Yeah,
Exactly.
there were some issues, especially with the artist part. There that was the reason why the monster was wrong because they were
It was
rushing to
changed.
get that thing done.
Like the first time they got it right, why they got it wrong was they had to re-explain everything to a new artist, and the artist
Yeah.
had not enough time to like get what is going on. So he just like he thought it's like a T-Rex. Let's just draw a T-Rex.
Yeah.
freaking T Rex, bro. Like,
I
Mama
was
loves
so
some
lost.
T-Rex. So about like one ish, I love the comics, and I'm not gonna say one thing that might put me in trouble, so I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say this like the one issue Zero War had. I love how much they like tease everything in the comics. Like if you go to Zero War, they tease a living metal, half sentient. They legit explain Chrome coming soon in the comic. They just put a teaser of it in the comic. That was so cool to me.
actually, I didn't think
And
about
so
that.
like
Wow, actually, yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
they put a teaser of the Chrome in the comic Zero War. They do it a lot. They
See,
put that's why I say when things are connected, Mustard is planning this in the past and putting hints to
true.
it everywhere.
See,
If
I'm
we
dumb
have
like
not
that. I
figured
don't
it
really.
out,
I
yeah,
don't go
if
back on the past stuff. So I'm so stupid.
yeah. Like if we don't figure it out yet, it's because like these are just hints and the answer to them hopefully all of it is gonna be in chapter 5 and ending of chapter 4 Geno is meant to come out based on everything I have followed. If he does not he's definitely gonna come out. Hopefully they explain his part there too because his reveal is not yet. Zero War was a teaser to his reveal. It was to
True.
build
Yeah.
his reveal. His reveal is gonna be probably at the end of chapter 4.
Do you feel like it's carried on
Mhm.
too much though with Jeno? Like, do you feel like they're dragging it out too much?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
Because I
like
kind of do.
the problem is they're explaining a story in a battle royale, in a BR game, a multiplayer, which I have not really seen any other person doing like the level of epic like this big, like a PvP BR game,
Yeah.
something like this. But this like makes a lot of problems for them. Like the way they have to make these like things every week. They can't just wait, finish it, and then give us. Other games have a year or two to finish it and then give us the story. They can't do that. They have to make parts of it every week, which makes it really hard for them and makes them take a long time to tell the story. So that is definitely kind of a problem, but I don't know how they could fix it. I'm not sure.
Like
Unless
50-50
change the
on
game
Pace
it.
mode.
it better. They could pace it better and make it
Maybe.
quicker.
Cyan, do you feel like
Yeah.
like if you're gonna be honest, like do you feel like the pacing's kind of crap, or are you happy with it?
Some in chapter 3 it was crap. In chapter 3 after Resistance it was
Cyan's saying
probably
something
the
negative.
worst
Oh my
time
god.
in this. Don't do that to me. After chapter 3 like the story got a little bit like slow and messy. Like a big side of that I feel like, because chapter 3 a lot of 4 sorry chapter 3 season 4 a lot of things in it that were teased, like the Midas Chrome Gold Touch, which I have a sick theory on that what that was meant for. It all got cancelled. And it makes me think, because of Fracture being rushed too, like you getting crashed, that's
We don't
probably
talk
because
about
they
that
haven't
event.
optimized it. It was rushed. They had to rush it because chapter 4 was like in just 1 year. They didn't have much time to work on it. I hope the same thing doesn't happen with chapter 5. And I think it won't, because they learned from their past mistakes. So hopefully not.
They also hated us for that. Like the backlash on Fracture, they had a couple rewards ready to give out for Fracture, but they never gave it to us. I'm pretty sure it's because
Well,
of the
they could have made a
backlash.
good event, couldn't they?
No, they gave us one of it. They just gave it one
It
of
was
us.
like,
got
you guys are
The
too
actually,
greedy.
teaching the
there was
chair.
There was a
Too
loading
greedy?
screen. I
Oh,
think
fuck,
like
we're
2
asking
of
for
them.
an
We never
event?
got them.
Yeah, and there was also sitting on a chair with the mushrooms. That was from Fracture.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
They
I
were good
enjoy
though.
and
playing death runs more than that event.
That event was, it was not the worst just because of the cutscenes. Only because of the
was the
cutscenes.
worst.
What I
The,
said to
the
agree.
gameplay itself,
what I said to Purex is this is what I thought the event should have been. Is like, you know, the cutscene at the start, that should have been majority of the event, like us fighting the
Yes.
Herald and having like a cool interaction like we did with the Cube Queen. And then the ending
For
cutscene
sure.
should have been the island coming together and being pieced together. It's like they did it the opposite way around. But
Yeah. Or they could just do both. They done that a lot. They do different parts, like in Resistance. They did like in the collision event. They did the mech part and then there was the ground part. They definitely can do both.
yeah, my favorite event
I
was
just thought of
the
something.
season 8 chapter 2 end event. I just thought that was a perfect balance between
Perfect,
cutscenes,
yeah.
gameplay, and story. Like I loved it so much.
I just thought
Yeah.
of something,
That
by the way.
yeah.
So, as you said, Jake, if
Yeah.
the fucking sorry.
Yes,
if the battle against the Herald was longer, and if it was the main focus of the event, that would have, of course, improved the event by a ton, because that was what the entire season was leading up to. It was like, oh, the big bad Herald, we're gonna fight her, right? And then that goes
my
over
God.
in like
She
30
days to
seconds.
Chrome. Woo.
The
But
voice
Yeah.
change.
imagine if that was longer, and then we fight her, the map explodes at the end of the fight. You know, like that's a little
And then-
cutscene, and then we end. Shush. Oh, sorry.
I just had an idea. Sorry.
sorry. And then we end up in space, right? We know we can float in space without having astronaut suits on. We got that in Season X. So what if, instead of us sitting there looking at the island through the entire downtime, what if it was us in space, and while the downtime was going on, the island was collecting itself during that,
I was
and
just
then
about to
when
say
the
that.
season
Yep.
and then when the season actually launched, that's when we got another cutscene
Yep,
for
yep,
like
yep.
the island, being done.
That's
That would have
that's,
been
that's what I was
so
gonna
much
say.
better.
Yeah.
That
Epic
sounds
should
better.
hire you for live events.
Yes, they should, because they don't know how to
Yes,
fucking.
they should. Yes, they should.
Then again, like we're talking about like the Chrome and the Herald, like the fighting the Herald wouldn't work anyways because we saw that in the cutscene the Chrome would just absorb everything. So
They could just show
It
it.
re- it
for
They could
really,
have
fun.
made
like-
it slower. They could have made
Yeah,
us
exactly.
I
actually
agree they
battle
could have
against
made
the
it
Chrome.
consistent.
Be a
I
grandma,
agree they
just
could
like
have, but
Like Rez, you know,
we
like with
really
the
had
Cube
no
Queen.
chance with anything.
You know, with the Cube Queen,
Yeah.
she did like the big cube walls, and then like the what are they
Yeah.
called? The caretakers as that came out. Like she could have done
Yeah,
that,
we
but with
fought
like
against
Chrome
it.
and had like these Chrome zombies that were in that loading screen that we never
Exactly.
saw.
We
like,
lit. Yeah.
come out.
Oh my god. Sorry.
I was mad about the two Purex. I
He's
really
going
wanted to see those
crazy. I
Chrome
loved it. I
zombies.
love it.
But the thing is, like,
I
the
have
cubes and all that stuff are like physical beings and stuff. So that's why you're able to shoot at them. But the chrome is more
True.
they
absorb
could make
thing.
chrome
So that's
monsters.
why it could have, but the bullets would have either just went in the chrome monsters and not
True.
affected them, or would like go through them.
No,
So
I see what
like
you
we
mean.
saw that
Yeah.
happen with the Herald.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have one thing to say also for people. I hate when people say interaction events were bad. It's a good improvement. You don't just get rid of something if it's new. It needs to evolve, and the best way to evolve it is not to just get rid of it. It's to make it more crazy. Have Scar is the most boring weapon of all time. It just shoots. It's like the guy in Destiny 2 says, if you don't shoot, you don't have fun. Something like that, like him. But like the thing is, do you remember what was his gun? His name Leroy Kid Leroy, something like that.
Oh yeah.
And then in his events, there was the crazy cool wolf, like the burning wolf, and
Oh,
then there
yeah.
was the cool gauntlets, the lasers. They need to give us cool weapons, abilities to fight them, cool enemies. It doesn't matter if it's like unimportant. If it's cool, my monkey brain will enjoy it. Give me cool.
Monkey
I don't want a Scar. Garbage.
I
don't
think
think the
like
That would
I think
definitely make it better.
Be a mix.
it's the
I go really quick?
balance.
Yeah, Max.
It's the balance
it's the
that they
balance.
need to focus on.
It
Like,
should be somewhere in the middle.
yeah.
because sometimes there's
Yeah,
like
Jada,
stories
like-
that are too interactive, or sorry, events that are too interactive, and there's ones that are just like not interactive enough. Like I said, I reckon season 8, chapter 2 was that perfect balance for me.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And if they
Exactly.
made it like the enemy, if they gave us something else than a Scar, it would have been even cooler.
Yeah, like unique stuff. Like
Give us a pistol instead.
Yeah,
Come on, guys.
that's what I'm
Improve the
saying.
shit.
No, not pistol. That's worse.
The most annoying
Get your
part
stuff
about
together,
Fracture
man.
was the quests. Like I'm trying to enjoy
Oh.
the view and everything.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just
yeah.
had 50,000 quests on like the side, and they were all yellow and messing everything
was
up,
so
and it was
dumb.
just so bad. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
And so long.
We're confusing too. Confusing
Forever.
It was that event was not a good idea at all. But I feel like they just did it so they can just move on to making chapter 4.
and then I crashed and I hated it even
Mm.
more. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my
The crash
gosh.
itself shows because they have mastered this at this moment. The crash shows they didn't have enough time to play test it to fix
I
the
wouldn't say-
performance issues.
I wouldn't say they've mastered it because there's been crashing issues in every single event in Fortnite so far. Like every single
Yeah,
event has
but, like-
had crashing issues, so they definitely haven't mastered it. I would say.
But like, has anyone crashed? Because they always say if you come in 1 hour earlier, you like make sure your spot
Jake
is
did.
taken and you won't Wait, you crashed even after
not
one?
true.
No, not Fracture. Another ones. The other ones.
oh no, like
They
with,
always said
with Fracture, like what happened with me is like they said you could join
I
like
crashed too.
throughout of it, like throughout the event. But I crashed and then I couldn't join. It kept saying network error, so there was
Same.
definitely something wrong with the servers. And I mean, I didn't miss out on much, but it was just annoying. That was
No,
the
you
first
didn't. I
time.
wish I was the one who crashed instead.
That was the first time I've ever like missed out on part of an event. But like, yeah, there wasn't
Same.
much to miss out on.
True.
I crashed
I
30
just-
seconds before Paradigm's emotional speech, and I just got
Oh,
so mad
no.
because I wanted to see that part.
Yeah,
I got zapped by
Yeah.
some fish or something. It was like some fish statue next to the Herald. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I remember I did
Yeah, the
something and the
performance.
screen went black, and I was like, "Oh, this must be a part of the event." And then it just said network connection. I'm like,
I
"Oh,
was
shit."
dying.
Oh my.
So many people crashed. Oh my god. Even me. That was my first time ever crashing, and I was like,
I think like
why
half the
you
player
gotta
base
do this
crashed.
to
Like
me?
it was bad. It was a lot of people.
It was
I
really
wouldn't
bad,
mind
yeah.
have waiting like an extra week or two as long as the event would have been better. But
Yeah, yo.
no.
You say that, but have you seen how much the community cries every time they like move the seasons?
I agree.
What a
I
day,
agree.
a single
Yeah, true.
day. They push not just Fortnite community, all of us, TikTok and stuff have made us like just not be able to wait for things. Cyberpunk, these games, if these things stayed longer, they would have been actually good. But people sent death threats to the devs of Cyberpunk, so they had to
Well,
just put it out. It's not a good
I don't
thing
wanna
to
be
do.
that
Just
guy.
So
wait.
that's not.
I don't
the
want to be
same
that guy,
thing,
but the
though.
fact that I feel like Cyberpunk itself, they did mess up by announcing the game
Yeah,
10
they
years
did.
earlier than intended.
Yeah.
So they could have
But,
not
like,
released it or even
they
announced it in
over
2013.
exaggerated a lot.
All right, so
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do is, I've got a couple of questions, or quite a bit of questions from like people in the community, and I think like you'll be able to help some of your points, sign that will come up and stuff as well. So kind of do two things at a time. So just gonna pull them up real quick. I think some of them are addressed to specific people as well.
Okay.
Zombie wants to know. I don't know if any of you guys can answer it because none of us really can. But where do you guys think Jones is? Like, where's he gone?
He's
Unknown.
you
Is he in
can see his
Hawaii? Or?
feet, his like tiny legs in the fracture intro screen. He's just
Yeah, but where is he
laying
now?
But
there
where's he gone
with
though?
his
Like,
yeah, I'm explaining it.
oh, okay.
He's just laying there with his banana smoothie peel, which I want to say this. What is wrong with this guy? He keeps not milking, sorry. He keeps like killing Peely and drinking him. What monster? Actual monster. And like Peely just seems like it does actually make you see the visions of the future. So I feel like he just saw the world end and now he's depressed, sitting somewhere like, what is life anymore? What is the meaning of this? Why am I here? I think it's just like sitting there with no hope.
True.
Because he is in the map. He's just doing nothing.
I wanted to mention what Cyan was saying really quick though, but if you think about it, it's really like disturbing because Peely is Jonesy and Banana
Yeah.
combined.
True.
He's
yeah.
eating himself. That's
Yeah.
really
So
nasty.
weird.
It's so bad. It's so weird.
It's messed up, bro.
What was
It's
the
messed
question
up.
again? Because I had it.
Where do you think
Was gonna
Jonesy's
answer.
at?
Jonesy's.
Oh, okay. I feel because these audio logs seem like from Sloan, they seem to be pointing to Jones. I feel like he may be on the island. Like he can't, because he was there with us during downtime, so he's probably somewhere on the island. Why hasn't he been talking? I got no clue. It's also because Donald could be trying to be working around the voice actor's like schedule.
True. yeah.
Also, maybe because he doesn't need to come back right now. Although I feel like a lot of us would disagree. Jones is very important to the
Yeah.
story.
Jones is the only
Um,
half-average character in the story. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say it now.
'Cause
Agreed.
he has development, and
Yes,
like
exactly.
exactly, and people like development, and none of these characters have development. Like Amy, she has development too because she started off as annoying, but then she matured,
yeah.
and then like
True.
we understood her
Yeah, she's
story a bit
gone.
more. So, and now we have
Why-
nobody.
They're all gone.
Now
Yeah,
we have
pretty much.
Sloane though, but we got Sloane. She's maybe gonna redeem herself, and that's gonna be our development for her. But yeah, I think Jones is on the island and don't know what he's doing. Just like
True.
Science said, I got no clue.
Depressed boy. I want to say something about no, after Echo.
Echo, do you have?
Okay. Honestly, my answer is gonna be pretty short. Epic just pushed him to the faraway side of the Fortnite storyline characters, and they're playing with their new toys right now. When
Yeah.
they come back, they'll just pull him out of there and just add him right back like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Purex?
Like always.
Do you know where he might be?
Yeah.
Do you know where Jonesy might be?
No, because every single thing that's been said so far, again, headcanons. We don't know. Nobody knows.
Yeah,
It's not
good.
explained. Last time we saw him, yeah, as you guys said, he's drinking
Loading
a.
screen. Yeah.
Can I swear? I'm just not gonna swear. He was drinking a flipping smoothie at the fucking. Oh shit! Never mind. In space,
did it.
he was drinking a smoothie in space, and now where is he? Is he dead? Is he in space? Is he on the island? No, we don't know because they're not telling us. We got Evie now. She's the new main character. Yeah, important basic girl. Yes.
Jonesy's gone.
I feel like
Bastard.
there's some fun to having like your own theories and
Oh, for sure,
headcanons
yep.
because you get to use your imagination and you get to connect with others and then like debate with it. Like we're talking about the story right now. Like all these like things, these mysteries are bringing us together, which is the fun part about it. But I do understand the annoyance behind that because a lot of us also want to have like some clear picture of what the heck is going on with the story and where it's going.
I agree.
It's better to have a clear path and then have headcanons on the side.
Yeah.
For example, a headcanon shouldn't be the entire storyline. The
That's so
headcanon
true.
should be like, let's say you have a character like Jonesy, then you want to like headcanon his past or headcanon his future. It shouldn't be headcanoning the entire story.
Yeah,
Like,
I like that
the-
there's headcanons because I think everybody has their own perspective and it makes it cool because that's what draws you to a certain creator because you want to see what their ideas and thoughts are for it. But when you're making up literally the whole story with headcanons, that's when it can get a little bit too much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If there was a clear path, I wouldn't mind headcanons at all, but there's no clear path as to what we're doing.
Did I like talk about the Sloan part? I'm slowly
Yeah.
forgetting it. Okay, so first of all, before I say, I am actually forgetting it. That's why I said sorry. So I'm gonna send this. It's a teaser for now. Before I fully explain the 5 realities to you guys, they have been teasing it every single goddamn chapter, every single day. Look at it. Even in the loading screen of Foundation, there's the jungle, there's the desert, there's the other place that is probably for about Geno, there's the frozen reality, and then there is Foundation's place, which I really,
Is
I'm
that
gonna try to
directly
figure out.
said, or is that a headcanon?
It doesn't. It's like it's gonna be said. Like right now, the glyphs and stuff. This season is the season, and the next one, which is gonna
What if
say
it doesn't
That's
happen?
why there is no way, based on something that happened to me, which I can't say because someone will fall in trouble. There is no way.
Okay, okay.
No
Well,
way.
if it doesn't happen, then that theory is shut down.
If it
I'm not
doesn't
saying this
happen,
to like
all my
shut you down or
subscribers
anything.
unsubscribe.
I'm
Like,
not. I'm
get
not
away
saying it
from
like
me.
that. You know
No,
what
I
I
know.
mean,
I'm
though.
just
Like,
saying for
yeah,
myself. I'm saying for the
yeah, yeah,
viewers.
yeah.
I know.
I hope you're right, because that would make sense.
That'd be
but
sick. Yeah, that'd be
if
cool.
it
Yeah.
isn't, then it's just another headcanon.
But I'm gonna say the Sloan part before I forget.
Yep.
Basically, in like a Sloan, her development has been like a big thing that they have been teasing, and finally they're doing. In season 2, chapter 3, from the start, John Jones has been, I thought we were doing the right thing together, things like that. Their relationship were together, trying to be the right thing. And then in season 2, or season 6 actually, when John Jones figures out he was wrong, Imagine Order is not what it was meant to be. Exactly why Foundation left it too, which I'm gonna explain the 7 later. So Sloan in the collision live events and in the comics and everywhere, even the like the quests of the Resistance season, he kept saying, "I know you're not this. I know you can be on the good side. You're on the wrong side. Join us in the like the thing in the events." In that one, he said it again. You're not doing the right thing. Something like that. He teased it. I forgot what exactly the quote was. And then like I'm slowly forgetting what I wanted to say. So there is like these teasers
He's
they
under the
were
effects of the
doing,
loop. Oh
and
no.
yeah, and I remember now. Foundation gave us the answer, but like he said it like before the collision happened, so a lot of people missed it. Sloan is not in charge. It's Geno. If Sloan abandoned us in season 7, it was Geno making her do it. If Sloan wanted to destroy John Jones and all of those people, it was Geno making her. If Sloan made the collision, she did not really have a choice. That's why right now she wants to leave. Now she gets to actually have a choice, and she wants to be her own girl. She wants to be her
So
own
you don't
thing.
think she's a part
So
of the
that is
IO
gonna be
anymore?
development.
She's her own
Yeah,
independent
she's
person
not.
that's creating her
Yeah,
own
that's gonna be
journey.
her development.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay.
Yeah, they should marry her and John Jones. Do it.
I could see that because the next question I was going to ask that somebody was talking about, like, do you think that Sloane's going to, is she still part of the IO? Is she doing her own journey? But I think probably most of you guys can agree that she's going on her like own path now, and she's probably left the IO
Yes.
behind.
Yeah. It's practically confirmed.
Yeah, yeah, which is good. I think
She was like,
I like
"Go
that.
away, Gunner. I hate you."
Like, do you think she's going to be good, or do you think she's going to turn out to be evil and worse than what she was?
Sort of
She's
an
definitely
anti-hero.
not
Okay.
evil. She's super. All she wanted, as we have seen, all she wanted was to do science, experiment, learn about the world, all of that. And that's what she's doing right now too. She just wants to learn what is going on, get answers. So I think when she gets her answers is exactly when we learn. Now she has the answers. Does she wants to be good? Does she wants to go against the last reality, all of that? Or does she just don't want to care anymore? Or she wants to be on the bad side with the last reality? That's when it gets confirmed.
I'm going to move on to another question just because we're getting on the hour mark, but we'll do a bit more of a long rep. The
Yeah.
Fortnite kid, he asked on Twitter, obviously the thoughts on the new storyline, which we've kind of sort of touched base over, but they also want to know that, do you think they use old characters to generate hype in the story when it's starting to get to like a point where it's boring?
I do. Yeah.
No,
It sounds like
Yes,
no.
not
and
to me. Because like it's as I said, they have already teased it. Like the 7 returning, being corrupted. These things are already
Yeah,
teased in the
they're
past. So like
inevitable
it's
to
planned.
return. That one I can
Yeah,
agree with,
exactly. It's planned.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, but
they
wait,
can't
actually,
they can't just
yeah.
like be like, oh, people are tired. Like last season, people got tired. They can't just be like bada bim bam pow, change the whole season 3, make a slow come out of nowhere, make everything about her the main character. They can't do that. They're not magicians. It doesn't work.
I think I think her return was kind of coming because like at the end of the event, you can see that she went back into the tank. So it's kind of like I don't know. You can kind of see it a bit.
Exactly. I said that
Mhm.
so many times. So many people made fun of me, and I'm gonna say it right now. Imagine is not dead too. Foundation did the same thing he did to himself. I mean, sorry, Geno, not Foundation.
All right, so I feel that, for example, you guys brought up the fact, like, do you guys think that they bring back characters when the season starts dying? And then Cyan said that no, because they tease it. What if they tease their return on purpose, just in case that the story gets boring? So they always have like a card up their sleeves, being like, "Haha, we always thought
True.
about this." They
Right,
could be
it's
doing
right.
that on purpose, like, okay, let's try something else. We have teased that they're coming back, so we always have that card we can use if it gets to shit. So last season, the story gets really boring, but they have teased Sloane's return.
Yeah.
So maybe they they
So
can
it's like
just
they get a
use
jail
that
free
tactic.
card pretty much.
Yeah, get out of jail free card. Just tease their
Yeah, yeah.
return, so you have a
Purex
card
is
you can
right.
use all the time.
Yeah.
That's just how
Exactly.
I'm
I
feeling
mean,
about it.
Oh,
I mean,
it's exactly
Fortnite
that.
makes
I
them a
think.
lot of money, so. Oh, sorry, Akko, you can
Yeah.
go.
No, basically, I 100% agree with Purex here because he just understands the marketing perspective of the game. Because as much as we all love the story, it's one big part of a business, okay? Everybody there just wants to make the game more profitable. It's inevitable, okay? We just know it goes on.
Mhm.
So, aside from the love for the story and how we move forward, it's also a matter of grabbing people's attention and bringing the most players possible back to the game, even for with any means necessary. Like, so we've seen that they always leave a small window, so they can always return to past storylines or past characters whenever things start to get stale.
Yeah.
Like, if you asked me 1 season ago, I would have never guessed Sloane would be in the next one because there was no clear indication to that.
Yeah, it was very
It's
random,
always
wasn't it?
it's always accepted because it was teased before, and not exactly teased, as in left
If
vague.
phones.
That's what they do. They
Yeah,
always
yeah.
leave things vague
It's
so they
open-ended.
can revisit them again. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
open-ended,
I
of
have
course.
something to add to what Akko was gonna say. The
No,
only
you can go. That's
reason the only reason we even knew that Sloan was alive was because of the survey. If the survey
Yeah.
wasn't there, it would all be theory. Again,
True.
headcanons.
True.
Everything would be a
Mhm.
headcanon about Sloan. But we knew she was alive because she's in the survey, so at some point, of course, she's gonna come back. So again,
It was
Epic,
one more indication.
they always have a card up their sleeve to use.
Do you hate the surveys for that? Oh, sorry, Rez, you go.
Yeah, kind of.
Could have been like a last minute thing with Sloan though, because Sloan and Trace had like these sand abilities, but they removed them because we have them in game
Yeah.
now. You could
Yeah.
compare it like the survey skins. So I don't know,
But-
maybe it's something they're planning for the future, or maybe like they genuinely removed it because they just like changed ideas completely.
Yeah, something
Was the
really
lad.
important about that. Trace is exactly the same design as in the thing in the the survey. But in the survey, the sand powers is not part of the skin. It's part of the power, and we have not really seen him use the powers. And if you read the
probably
description
won't.
of his pickaxe, it says gift from deserts and the storms. The storm gave him the water powers, the deserts gave him the sand powers. There you go. He's gonna
Egyptian
make a
season
stone.
next
It's
season.
gonna be just like the thing,
It would
the
be nice.
trespasser skin, turning airlight and everything like that. So it's gonna be like the stone is like this right now. Trace and stuff are gonna show him everything when the sand place comes and all. She's gonna find her true powers, the sand powers, and then we get that as a style. So this is like the origin story of this power, probably.
I could see that.
I mean, that would be nice,
Yeah.
but have they ever like? I mean, no, I don't think they've ever done that
I'm
before. Like,
pretty sure. Even with the crew skin, with the mecha skin, they brought it. They waited for the storyline part happen, and then they showed his chest opens
that
and
is
his
true.
pickaxe. I love
Yeah, I
that.
Yeah.
remember. That is true.
And
Oh,
You
there
could argue
was
it's a
maybe-
different instance, but okay, yeah.
and there was the leaked like deserty stuff as well, like the palm trees and that. So next season could be
Yeah.
like a desert, maybe Egyptian or Greek or like I
think
don't
so,
know.
yeah.
Something that'd be cool.
maybe
think
this
so.
season too. Who knows? We never
True.
know what's gonna happen.
True.
Mhm.
So that'd be cool. Just another question from the same guy, the Fortnite kid. They said, do you think yearly chapters contribute to the story, or do you think it's just like a marketing strategy?
I think it's to keep up hype. Honestly, I feel like they realized that the game is going downhill.
Do you guys
Can you
like
say it
yearly
again? I
chapters?
didn't hear.
Oh, sorry.
I don't.
Do you think that yearly? So, Simon, do you think that the yearly chapters contribute to the story, or is it just like a marketing strategy to bring more players in?
It contributes to the story for sure because chapter one, when finished, so as I said, it is basically what we're going through in chapter four. All the realities of that is coming back. Chapter two was Cube Queen's plan coming to finish because, as she says in her music pack, everything we have ever gone through, it's part of her game, it's part of her play. She manipulates everything. The reason why the vault opened in chapter one, season 8, it's because the keys, each key is programmed to be connected to one reality. We got the snow biome, we got the desert biome, we got Lucky Landing, we got the grass biome, which is for Geno. We got the other one, which, oh, my brain, let me check my phone. I wrote it somewhere. I'm gonna check in a little bit. So we got the other one, it's in my phone. I can show it in a little bit. So when those 5 realities came together, and we revealed the bunker, the keys got turned on because that seems to be what like it was programmed to do with like the everything and nothing, the two gods. They turned on, they go to their realities or something, and then it needs part of the reality and a character from it, something like that, to solve the puzzle. Once the 5 puzzles got solved, we got a gift which was to reveal the 0 points and the gift from it in their 6 things. We get to pick one of those, all of that. So it is all definitely part of the storyline, and that's why they keep rushing things because they want to reach when exactly the things in the story in Donald Master's plan happen. And sometimes his plan is a little bit too hard for them to keep going with, so they have to
Yeah, I
rush
can see
some
that.
things.
Yeah. I do think a lot of it is a marketing strategy as well, though, in my opinion. Because
Same.
like that's the peak, like that is when they get the most audience in and players. So they're obviously going to try and push it out as much as they can. I think a lot of it's just to make some money, and I mean it's good. Every company needs to make money and stuff, but I don't know. Do you guys enjoy having a yearly chapter, or would you like it a little bit longer?
I don't think
Who's
it's gonna keep going on yearly, and I don't in okay. I love chapter 4 map. It's the best map we have
Oh,
gotten
I can
ever yet.
agree. I can agree.
If we lose it, I'ma cry. I'ma actually be like, why? Why did you do this to me, Epic? No. So no, I want it to be longer.
Another thing is, a lot of people have asked. So Fishstick Pro and Wick XFN have both asked, "Where's Paradigm? Like, what happened to her?"
Probably in
Again,
the
I know.
0 point. No one knows.
I was
Like
thinking
you're,
the same bit.
yeah, it's just
Okay,
all
so
headcanons.
Yeah.
on my side,
Yeah.
Paradigm was teasing 2 things on her side. So seems like when that event happened, the part of the story, her being the main character of the story going forward, in that event ended for now. So like her main focus in the story for now is finished. There is like the things I teased about her is done for now. There is one more for her return, which is like it's like not fully explained yet because we need to know which reality she's exactly from first to figure that out. So she in the when doing all the things for the fracture talks about how like this is so risky. She might not even come out of it alive, which probably she did. Of course she would. She's Paradigm, and like at the end, at the start of chapter 4 trailer, she says, "This is your fight now." So she's done. For now, she's
Yeah,
over
it's like
with.
she was going off to the
This is
sidelines and she's
yeah,
just tapping out.
and
So I can't handle this
yeah,
no
and
more.
exactly, she's just saying like, "My
Yeah, but they're
friends, they're
nuts.
gone." No.
I hate Fortnite. I'm
So
leaving.
oh my god. So like this is your fight. There is 2 choices which we're gonna learn soon. It's either she's talking to Sloan and Geno, and when Sloan says this was put here for me, is Paradigm went into that reality, put the thing there, and like she knew Sloan is gonna wake up and everything, be there, all of that. So it's either that or she's talking to the 0 point, which 0 point is half sentient. It's not full sentient. So I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a Sloan and Geno.
Yeah. So obviously we know that Paradigm was Brie Larson's. Do you guys like that the collabs are a part of
No.
the storyline, or do you hate it?
Yes.
I knew he was gonna
No.
say yes.
Mixed. I'm mixed personally.
I'm
Could-
very mixed.
For
Would
I
you
feel-
example,
would you like to see more in the future, or do you think they should just stay as original
Not
characters?
too much.
I
Half
mean, I
half.
always
Like
like
not
to
too
see.
much.
I always like to see some. Okay, look. At first, it was alrightish. It was with the Marvel crossover. It kind of makes sense why it would happen. So it didn't exactly have a huge impact on the law, but it also had, which is something that I personally liked, because on one hand you could explain the entire events of season 4 and forward were because of that, but you could also say that it was a slight crossover that happened because of the sake of it, and it didn't really have such a significant impact.
Yep. Yep.
So, like now, right now we have the Optimus Prime skin, which apparently comes from the ancient temples. I don't think it's exactly integrating it into the actual law. More of like saying, "Oh,
Support.
look here, he was underneath this entire time." The Autobots had to say, "I'm sorry, I'm speaking in Twitter terms, etc." Force of habit. And that's pretty much it. How I view the collabs. Like they're just there
Yeah.
for their respective season. They will add some slight law to explain their presence on the island, but that's as far as it goes. Like we won't see Optimus Prime fight against the Last Reality in season 4, for example.
Yep.
So they don't really have a massive impact on the law.
Yeah, exactly.
Reds, do you like it or do you think it's crap?
I can care less, to be honest. Like the
W.
whole
Yeah.
the whole like
W.
paradigm retcon thing. Like I was mad, but then I just accepted it, and like now I just don't care. Like whatever they do, I'll just be like, yay, and I'll just move on. I was disappointed
Same.
about the paradigm thing though, because I am the #1 singularity enthusiast, and I love her so
Yeah.
much. But of course, they had to push her aside and put in Brie Larson. But I don't mind Brie Larson. I think her design still looks awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think her voice acting is awesome. So I'll let Donald do it. I'll trust him. Let him take
Uh,
take the wheel.
Wait, are we talking whole collabs or just these two? I'm confused a
I
little
mean,
bit because Echo talked.
whole collabs that impact the story really, like it's mainly story
Yeah.
specific.
I have some talks on that if you want.
We'll do. Do you want to just do like a brief summary because we're gonna start wrapping things up slightly a little bit,
Oh, about like the what collabs are all about in the story.
or just like do you enjoy having them as in the story like
Okay.
collabs?
The way they're doing it right now, I like it a lot because the collabs are never the focus. The collabs are a support and a way to
That's
tease
true. Yeah.
things. Like Vibranium was like a way to tease kinetic, or Spider-Man saying like the living metal thing. It's all to just tease things, and it's all to like make it more fun because the story is supposed to be omniversal and it's supposed to be something really cool, unique, and all of that. So they just add the collabs in just for a little bit more excitement, but they're never a main focus or a super more important part of the story. There is support.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like it. If they make it main focus, I don't think I will like that.
I get that. Yeah.
I can see that. Where do you think the story's just kind of brief summary? Where do you guys think the story's heading now? And are you kind of liking where season 3 is starting to pick up from with like the temples and the jungle biome and that?
I think we're gonna get obviously like the last reality because it's hinting towards that stuff.
Mhm.
I think we'll also finally get the reveal of Geno because we have been waiting for too long. If the Shapeless Man is Geno, then I feel like it would all, like I said, like it just all abruptly ends for the seasons. Like we had the Shapeless Man, the Saboteur. I don't know. I feel like it all connect in the end, and then we're gonna get Geno and the last reality, and maybe the Cube Cradle because we know that was teased in Chapter 2, Season 8.
Yeah.
And I think the introduction for the story this season was wonderful. And if they just keep up that same pace, like for the next every like week or two, then everybody's gonna like this story.
Except for me.
Always.
Who was that, man?
So,
It's me, Bruce.
practically agree with Rez because although I don't really like to read too much into the future of the story anymore because I know that 99% of the times it's just, as Purex has mentioned, headcanons and they likely
Yup.
won't come true.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I don't really like looking too much into service skins, looking too much into hints that may or may not be true, except like I made one mistake lately on Twitter where I thought that temples were 100% last reality related because of the service skin holding a golden cube, which I still think might have some relevance into season 4. So I think that Jenna will no, not 100%. Like he likely will play some part into chapter 5. I like to think, and will definitely end with the last reality invading the island once again, and maybe that explorer slash last reality goddess outfit with the golden cube playing some important role, maybe like replacing Herald for her respective season, something like that.
So, yes. So, this is gonna be the part probably I go into the five realities. So, first of all, something really important about this season is this thing and how, like, showing off Optimus Prime coming to this reality was mainly to show us, like, do you see how the teasers kept focusing on the temple? The temple. There were so many other locations in the map. Who cares about those? Look at the temple. That was a thing they did in every teaser and in the trailer. Then they showed how like Optimus Prime came into it. This temple can allow you to travel between realities, seems like it, and that's probably how they brought Optimus Prime into this place. And there is a telescope in the other side of the map which uses kinetic ore and manipulates light with like a prism and thing and does a lot of things to it, which I really feel like the drawing they show on that place, it's not to show which reality the telescope is focused on. It's to show like these are all the I forgot the name that Snow said. These are all the things like their history that they're showing off on their walls and everything. Is to show how this telescope has the ability to look into the five different main realities. Which one of them has to be Geno's night reality, the like the medieval one, which one parts of it is the grass part in the map, the more modern version, because each reality has a future, like a part that moves on and part that stays in the past. And then the other one, as I have, oh yeah, I should say this, that each reality is focused on a historic part of real life as like a way, it's like inspired by an actual historic part in real life, or a like a, what was it named, like a North mythology, like or mythology. So the general part is inspired by historic night stuff. There is a desert coming next season, which is gonna be
We
the
hope.
final piece. There's no way it doesn't happen.
True, no,
Or
yeah.
yeah, but like yeah. So that part is gonna be Greek mythology inspired, and
Oh, Akko would
Oro
love
and
that.
Midas stuff.
I
I'm
hope. I
pretty
hope.
sure, yeah. Orvan stuff, I'm pretty sure are Greek mythology things, so it's gonna be about them. That's why we're getting Oro the storyline this season. They're building it up. This season is gonna be the build up to the desert and the Sloane getting her sand powers and all of that. And like so there is that part. And also about Greek. Greek is probably the main part that like Fortnite is extremely inspired from. So each map
I like
is a Greek god name, and all of them
So they
start
got to
with
show us
A.
some way with a season, surely. Like, they got to give it to us.
Yeah. So the last season has to be. This is my theory, Message JOY, another storyline YouTuber, and many other theories.
Yeah.
If the last map, the next one, chapter 5, is called Ares, then this is 100% the five realities and the darkness and light war, the massive war that they've been hyping up. And hopefully, this is my hope. This is not confirmed or anything, no hints. This is my hope. I hope we get a God of War inspired character in the story. We already got Ragnarok, we already got Midas, so many inspired characters. Please, give me Kratos, Fortnite Kratos, come on. I beg you.
Oh, it's
Or
really
make him.
Make it happen.
If it happens, I really think it would be a new character. I don't know anyone right now. Do you guys have any idea? Any character that could be God of War? I don't know. Maybe the champion Menace. I
I
don't
don't
know.
Don't play
think
it,
so.
so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's gotta be a new character probably.
Yeah, definitely have to be someone
And
new. So
yeah,
essentially, what you're
and
saying,
so
Simon, is you're really looking forward to the future, and you feel like that this season is
it's coming
definitely
together.
helping it come together a
Yeah.
bit more and progressing the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so how the story is gonna go forward this season, next season. So this season, Stone and us are gonna learn more about the history, about the five realities and everything, how everything and nothing fused together created the 0 points. The 0 point is half darkness, half light. That's why it's purple and blue. That's why Doom said it creates, but also it destroys because it's both of them. That's why the zero skin is everything and nothing. Why the fusion of skin happened. That's probably enough hints for you guys. So that happened, And I think the reason why Paradigm brought these realities together, because this is what the Nothing wants. We're going through the last reality plan. So this is probably, that's why Paradigm said it's so risky. We're doing what they want to use their own thing against them. And
I
the
can see that,
only
yeah, yeah.
person who can do that to me is either Geno. The seven are not here right now, they're corrupted, so it's not them. It's either Geno, because Geno is one of the five kings. It has to be like he knows a lot. He has been protecting us from the last reality this whole time. So he has to come out in the ending. Like his reveal has to be in the ending event of chapter 4 or close to it. And we should get the skin as chapter 5 a start, just like how we did with Foundation. Exact same thing. So that's gonna be one part of the futurist storyline. And then the other part, the 0 point has been calling into someone. And we
Yeah, it's
know
got those
how the
whale sounds, don't they? Like it's crying out.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we know how like the 0 point is
0 point
most
whale
of the
confirmed.
time exactly. So when the 0 point got created and the war began, because the Nothing wanted to destroy our realities and forge these realities, everything got sick of Nothing and the relationship, the private things at the rooms and stuff. It all finished. They hate each other now, and we know how everything took the 0 point away, pushed Nothing out of it, and that might be why the Nothing cannot intervene. Maybe he's locked somewhere by the everything, something like that. And so when that happened, the 0 point is calling into the everything
Yeah,
probably for everything to come and finally reveals itself. Why? The seven Foundation's description, his mission is everything with capital E. Him saying in the season 8 chapter 2 live event, why does she keep making me saving you? Which is a pretty weird sentence. It seems
it
like
is.
they
Yeah, a
made
lot
it
of people
because they're
still think
teasing
about that as
something.
well. Like that plays on
Yeah,
people's
I
minds a lot.
discovered why it is. So, the Nothing shapeless man is said to be a he, and that's definitely intentional because the gods do get to like the people in especially in mythology and the past like to like make some of them be a he, some of them a she, even though if they're not really. So everything, since Nothing is he, everything should be the she he's talking about. The seven are champions of her because Imagine Order and Geno are corrupted. They're not the same they used to be. The Ageless has light coming out of his chest. He has a white armor, but Geno has a black armor and no more light comes out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not the same man he was, and everything can't trust this last Imagine Order anymore. So everything created its own new heroes, the seven.
Awesome.
Yes,
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna
that's
try
gonna be
and.
the future of this story.
I like how if we just wanted like a short summary and sign, just like jump straight into everything. I love it. But I am gonna wrap it up here just because we are starting to get a little bit exceeding too much of the time.
Fair enough.
But before we end off, do you guys have any shout outs you'd like to give out to the community? Anyone out in the community that inspires you, or just any shout out in general?
Actually, I do have an account I'd like to shout out.
Yeah, sure. Yep. You can plug your stuff.
he's
Go
called-
for it.
He's called FNLore Approved on Twitter. He's excellent when it comes to doing lore recaps.
Cool.
And I really like his page and the format of it. So if you guys would like, check him out, of course.
Actually, I think I've seen their page floating around, so I'll definitely give it a follow because, yeah.
Yeah. He's really good.
Yeah, maybe we should invite him to the next podcast too if we
That'd
have
be
another
cool.
one.
True.
I definitely
Yeah.
would like to do another storyline project because honestly, I feel like there's so much more we could talk about, but it's just the time sort of
Yes.
is
Yeah.
getting carried away for us. But yeah, definitely like to do it again. Do you guys have any like socials, anything you want to plug? Because I will leave
Can
the
I
links down
do
in the
the
description.
the
don't.
thing Echo did? Can I do it too?
Yeah,
Because
sure,
some
yeah.
people
Go
really
for
deserve
it.
it.
Yep.
One of them is Tater Pie on YouTube. She deserves this so much. She figured out this like thing, the five realities, basically around the same time as me, and we never talked about it to each other. The fact that both of us figured it out at the same time. First of all, she deserves the love, and she's not getting it from people. I hope she does.
Yeah.
And like the fact that she figured it out too is crazy to me. And there's also Zeri in my Discord server. He doesn't have a place, but he still deserves it. He helped me out a lot with the five realities thing to fix all the issues the Fury had. And there was elements. There's also another one which I want to give a shout out, and that's it probably. Thank you.
Yeah. So a lot of, I'll obviously link everyone's I just want to say thank you to everybody that's joined the podcast, like Rez, Akko, Sign, taking the time out of your day just to come in and sort of make this podcast be what it is today, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. And I'll be
I want to
leaving
give
you-
someone a shout
inviting
out.
us.
Oh, yeah, you go, Purex.
So I want to give a shout out to Jaykey. He's a
Aw.
small creator in the
Boy.
community, and he needs money.
He needs to
So
grow, man.
He needs that income.
go
man.
give him money. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, thanks.
Will
But
you
yeah,
shout out?
I'll leave all the links in the descriptions, like mainly the Twitter, and then their Twitter accounts do link up to their
Thank
other
you.
socials like YouTube and stuff. So we'll definitely let that. And yeah, so next week we're gonna have a different podcast with more people on, and then Ben, who's our other co-host, he'll be switching over. So we'll be constantly changing things up. Layouts will change eventually too, like overlays and stuff. So at the moment we're in a process of just things slowly evolving and changing, and we're just gonna like experiment with stuff and that. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and I appreciate all of you guys for tuning on, and we'll see you in the next episode.